Hello and welcome to J-1 Visa Consulting, your resource guide to all things J-1 Visa related. In this video, I'll be talking about the Summer Work Travel Program, one of 15 different categories on the J-1 Visa program. If you have a question about any of the content in this video, please feel free to leave a comment below or check us out at j1visaconsulting.com. So let's begin. So first, here's a little bit about the program. So the Summer Work Travel Program allows foreign nationals to work and travel in seasonal and or temporary jobs during their summer vacation from university for a maximum of 4 months. So in addition to the 4 months, there's a 30-day grace period both before the program starts and after the program ends. So for the first 30 days, you can use that to get settled in the city. You can also use it to secure housing if you have not found that already. For the last 30 days, you can use that to travel around the United States, although please note that during this time you will not be permitted to work. So jobs in this category must have a cultural component which allows the foreign national to experience American culture. So many employers usually have events during holidays. For example, July 4th, which is our Independence Day. That's a huge holiday during the summertime. Well, you'll get to experience how we celebrate that. So common employers in this category are restaurants, hotels, resorts, amusement parks, souvenir shops, and tourist attractions, many of which are located in coastal cities, beach towns, or cities that have a lot of tourists during the summertime. If our winter is your summer, then you'll more than likely be working in a ski resort or a snow lodge, as those employers are seasonal during that time. So here we have eligibility. How will you be eligible for the J-1 visa? So first, you do have to be proficient in English. This means that you have to have a minimum level of English where you can communicate with people on a day-to-day basis, as this will be necessary. So you'll have to communicate with your employer, with your coworkers, with your landlord, potentially a roommate, and anyone else that you might encounter. In addition, you also have to be able to handle an emergency situation in English as well, as you could potentially not find someone who speaks your native language. You must also be enrolled full-time in a post-secondary university outside of the U.S., and you have to have completed at least 1 semester of post-secondary education outside of the U.S. So if you're currently in the U.S. studying, potentially on an F1 visa, you would not be able to just go ahead and get a summer job with the J-1 Summer Work Travel Program. You would be required to depart the U.S. before you did that. You also have to have received a job offer from a U.S. company unless you are from a visa waiver country. So that means that you cannot arrive without a job. You have to have a job secured, and then once everything is set, you'll be ready to arrive and start working. So here we have some important information about the program. So program dates vary by country, but students must have program dates within their academic calendar break. That means that you cannot start your program before your final exams have ended. It also means that you cannot continue on your program into August or September and then miss the first few days or weeks of classes once they start. So you do have to pay attention to that. You also must secure your housing before you arrive to the United States. This is incredibly important. So make sure that even if you don't have permanent housing, you've at least booked a hotel or a hostel for a few nights until you can get that secured. So most sponsors do help with this, either in terms of finding the housing for you, providing leads, and that potentially you can contact the leads on your own, or some employers also have housing for international students. So there are lots of different options here, but make sure that you do have this before you arrive. So the better your English, the better job opportunities you'll have. So if you're just starting out and your English isn't that great, but you still want to come on the program, you can have the opportunity to maybe work in a back-of-house position. So these would be positions like a housekeeper or maybe working inside the kitchen. If your English is great and you're confident with your English skills and an employer sees that, you might have a job working as a front desk attendant in a hotel or potentially a waiter or waitress or a host or a hostess in a restaurant. So here we have some essential information for all J-1 visa programs. So number one, you must be a foreign national with supporting documentation of education and or relevant work experience. So what does that mean? That means that if you're a full-time student, which is required for this category, you have documentation from your university stating that. So that would usually consist of a letter of enrollment or a copy of your transcript confirming that you actually have attended classes. So these documents do need to be translated into English officially. So that means that if your English is great and you just want to translate the documents yourself, probably wouldn't be able to do that. You also must show proof of financial means to support yourself while in the United States. So that means that you could be required to show bank documentation while you're at your visa appointment. That also means that you have to have enough money when you get here to pay for the upfront costs that you could potentially have. So you might need to pay the security deposit at your hotel or your apartment. You also might need to spend a few nights in a hotel, and of course there's always groceries. Also, you must not show immigrant intent. So if your plan is to live in the United States and forever and be a citizen, this would not be the visa for that, as this does have a 4-month maximum time frame. And you also must not displace an American worker, as this does require seasonality for the jobs. So that's all for today. If you liked this video or found it helpful, please go ahead and give it a like and make sure to subscribe to our channel to stay up to date and in the know about the J-1 visa. So until next time.